Hi, hello, and welcome back to a podcast where I talk about going from corporate drone to corporate dropout. You know it, you love it. Welcome back to Chaos and Fuckery. And as always, Tuesday is a goals update day. How are we feeling about our goals? We're officially into quarter two now. How did quarter one go for y'all? Quarter one for me, as we kind of talked about in the recap episode last week, was not the best. I had a lot of mental issues. I had a lot of just, I wanted to do things, but sometimes life got in the way kind of moments, and I took on too much. Realistically speaking, I don't love to admit that I took on too much as a business owner because you want to be able to do it all. You want to be that superpower. You want to be the gaming and fitness and whatever it is you do. You want to be everything. You want to, be successful in doing everything. And I was not. Specifically, I was not only not successful in business, but I wasn't successful in managing being a business owner, being a 9 to 5er, and managing my relationships. I would choose the wrong thing in the wrong time, and I had to come to look internally very deeply, because if I didn't, I might lose everything around me in the pursuit of this thing that wasn't even really going successfully in that case. And I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to lose everyone and everything around me, and I would rather grow slower or grow on one platform rather than multiple platforms than lose everyone around me because I'm stuck in my office and stuck in my head and not interacting with the world around me and engaging with my community and my relationships and everything else. I am very introverted as a human being, and I'm sure if you also are introverted, you understand the struggles that is, social relationships and being a part of the world, not online. I wouldn't say that I'm chronically online by any sense of the imagination. I don't understand a lot of online culture, but I prefer to communicate in online or text-based platforms or video-based platforms, right? Where I can truly think out my thought process and think out, or not thought process, but my words, and not just spew random nonsense that comes out the way it's not meant to be, or whatever the situation may be. I struggle a lot with person-to-person social communications, and I always have. It's never really been something I've been good at. And sometimes when you are, marketing yourself as a coach, that is not the best, because I can be a chronic oversharer, and at the same time, I could not share anything and mentally and be so far into my own head that I'm about to explode. No one knows what's going on with me. And that is an unfortunate side of being me and being a business owner and being someone who doesn't know what balance is. I am only ever living in the extremes, and that's a lot of my chaos. I only ever live in I am go, 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 or I am a sloth and I do nothing. And I am trying my mightiest to better balance that. Because if I have not enough stimulation in the form of, say, my 9 to 5, right? This happens at work too. This isn't just life. With my 9 to 5, if I don't have enough tasks on my plate, I will sit and procrastinate for hours and not do any of it. If I have too much, I am then overloaded to a point that I'm missing deadlines, and I didn't realize it until I, had all of that on my plate. I'm constantly asking for more and then realized, oh shit, I've got too much now. And I'm constantly in chaos and never know which way it's up, and I have to choose between certain meetings because I'm double booked and everything else. I was living in that version of my life for probably the last, year. I've been living in I have too much, trying to balance being a Twitch streamer, being a YouTuber, being a small form creator, being a coach, having a 9 to 5, being a wife, owning a home, all of these things. Managing all of those things made me realize I had too much on my plate. As much as I love streaming, I cannot put that as the focus of my goal line. I would love to come back to it or do it sporadically when I need to, record content for a video or something like that, because I would much rather have videos that are edited and well put together to grow on YouTube than stream right now. And that's not because I don't love streaming. I do, but it's because the time that I spend creating that content is time that I could be spending elsewhere. And I struggle with that because, especially if I'm not filming something for the intention, I'm not streaming something for the intention of turning it into a video. And that's rough when you start a series as a streamer, right? My Batman series didn't do as well, or start off as well as I wanted it to. So I don't want to continue to play that as a stream, because it's then hours wasted. But that's goals, right? We're talking about trying to reach Twitch partner by the end of the year. I would rather reach YouTube partner on all of my channels than Twitch partner at this current point. So I'm taking a step back from streaming. That is a goal that I have set for myself, is take a step back from that, and maybe after the summer is over, because summer is usually the hardest for me, I might come back to streaming content for, next year. I need to get further ahead of my editing schedule than I currently am in order to really be able to maintain YouTube. I thought, a month ahead where I'm recording it on stream and then editing it throughout the month was going to be enough, and it just simply wasn't. So I'm going to go back to filming things offline and creating videos in my own time rather than having strict streaming schedules. And if I feel like streaming that content, I will, but I'm not going to dedicate myself to streaming right now. And that's okay. So I've changed my goals a little bit around. It's the same thing with, building my home gym. That goal might turn into rebuilding my bedroom with my husband, because it's something that I've always kind of felt weird about, that a lot of our bedroom space right now was things that we each came into the marriage with rather than things we bought together. So I want to rebuild that whole place with him and his opinions in mind and things like that. So some of these goals might change around just based on different financial aspects and things like that, but that's okay. When it comes to weekly goals, though, I did not commit myself last week. Last week was a little bit chaotic with the 9 to 5, and I did not have enough time post work. I did start getting up, and I did my personal stuff, right? I started doing 2 workouts a day and following my nutrition plan, and I within inches of 10,000 steps, and I journaled a little bit and I read a lot. So I was following my personal side of things, but not so much my business side of things. I had 2 videos recorded last weekend, and I didn't edit them. So when it comes to, one of my goals for week 1 was uploading week 1 and 2 videos. Can I still get those videos uploaded? Yes. Will they be released as week 1 and week 2 of April? No. Because week 1's already over. If technically it's not, though, because technically this week started as March. So I can make a technicality on that. And as long as I get videos up this weekend, then we're starting April and quarter 2 off correctly. So I'm going to pull a technicality there. Wave that flag and pull the technicality. That technically next week is the first full week in April, even though I think Monday was the only day this week that actually was, March. But it's still March, so we're going to call it technicality on that one. Film and edit Dark Side video. I'm going to try to work on that today after I record these episodes. Today meaning the day that I am recording this episode, not the day that it releases, and at least get it recorded. Hopefully I can beat Dark Side. I've been trying to beat it offline and without recording, just to get to a point to where I'm even close to beating it a lot offline. And some of it is I need to, replace my Joy-Cons or get a Pro controller. But some of it is just my own stupidity, and maybe playing mobile is not the strat with Dark Side. So hopefully maybe I can get that video recorded and add in the wheel spins for every 5 deaths or whatever, so that, we can make that a video. Scholarship stuff. With the uncertainty of TikTok, I was very reluctant to close the scholarship, and I didn't put anything out on YouTube about it, and I didn't put anything in my Discord about it. So I might keep that application open for a little bit and see what happens, because I didn't do a ton of promoting. I kind of said, hey, I'm doing it, and then, didn't do it. So that's on me. I need to do that, but I do want to try to give it a chance to grow a little bit more so that I can, reach for the moon when it comes to client. So there's that. Recording the episodes, I'm doing that right here, right now. Y'all are live and me reaching my goals. But there are things when it comes to shorts, right? I need to clip these episodes and upload a bunch of shorts to YouTube for this YouTube. I need to do shorts. And I think just due to the uncertainty of TikTok, right? I talked about the fall of TikTok in last week's topical episode. I think I am just going to start making everything with YouTube in mind. Yes, I might steal an audio from TikTok or something like that. But instead of reposting TikToks to YouTube, I'm really going to be reposting YouTubes to TikTok. So rather than focus on something that might be more than 3 minutes, like a rant that I've been doing on TikTok about, the fitness industry, I am going to just take that and transform all of my content to be YouTube focused. I want to be a YouTuber, and that is a decision I've made kind of in my goals for the year, but also just in my own peace of mind that YouTube is the better place for me than all of these short form platforms and all of these. I don't like the tiny attention span. It is very hard to be a fitness person with the tiny attention span because there's so much nuance to fitness. And I don't feel like short form is where it goes for me from here. And maybe it's just because I'm feeling reluctant about short form platforms. I just don't like them. I don't know. But when it comes to goals for this week, we are still looking at making sure we get our video backlog growing. So that is number one priority, is having videos to the 2 week on the fitness platform, the 3 episodes for this platform, and having at least the first month of gaming content ready to go by the end of April so that I can launch the Mario channel, if you will, my new Nintendo, which is a whole different topic altogether, given the state of the world right now and the potential of not getting the Switch 2 here in the US and everything else. Anyways, I want to make sure that all of my channels are set up. This is a weekly record where I do 3 episodes every week. That is easy enough. I do that either on a Friday or when my husband's playing Airsoft. I will have a lot of opportunity, I believe, in this coming weekend to kind of get ahead of things, as my husband is participating in a mill sim for Airsoft and he will be gone a lot. So benefit to me, I will get to work some business and get really down and dirty with things. And I'm okay with that. The number one priority I have for April is getting clients and getting ahead of schedule when it comes to content. Not only because I have a lot coming up in the summer with traveling to Hawaii and Epic Universe opening, and I typically struggle to create content and be online and be anything other than, a potato in the summer. I'm trying to actively change that about myself this year and keep up with everything. But the goals that I have right now are, in fact, the core of the future of my business and making my 2025 goals. And I knew that coming into quarter 2, that quarter 2 is going to be a very big push for things. And I hope it works out in my favor. I genuinely do. So that is goals. Goals is easy. What are your goals for the week? What are your goals for the month? What are your goals for quarter 2? Did you do your quarter 2 planning? Because I kind of half-assed mine, I'm not going to lie. I didn't do a lot of my marketing. I haven't done it yet, at least, my marketing and content calendars. I had a rough outline coming into quarter 2, but I didn't really detail it out, and I really should, because if I'm going to go into a filming day or a filming weekend, I have to have a strategy. Because if I don't, I'm just creating nonsense on the fly and nothing makes any sense. So tell me, as fellow small business owners, are you feeling the hurts? I don't have a physical product, so I'm not feeling the hurt of the US Liberation Day, if you will. But are your vendors? Are you afraid your small business may not exist in a year based on some of the things going on right now? Is your small business booming because maybe you're in a world where you do make all American made and it'll be a great opportunity for you? Tell me all of the things, small business owners who might be listening to this, because I am up and coming. And the reality is I don't rely solely on my business to survive. And I want to build other businesses in the future as well. So I'm curious, what did your journey look like? Was it a year? Was it 5 years? Am I absolutely insane to think I can do this in a year? Am I insane for thinking I can do this now? I'm genuinely curious to hear from other small business owners in the works right now, because I feel like I'm constantly in the throes with, is this a dumb idea? Am I really screwing myself over as a cushy engineer for something that makes me happy, but may not always make me money? Things that you think about when you're thinking about all the goals that you want for a business. And, eventually as I grow, I'm not going to be able to do this all on my own. I'm not going to be able to do this and still maintain a 9 to 5. So yeah, tell me your journey, small business owners. What are your goals for the year, your goals for the month? Are you feeling that your goals might be at risk due to some of the state here in the US? Let me know. Are you better in the summer, or do you have, or in the winter? Let me know. I want to hear from small business owners about their goals and their journey to help kind of shape mine, but also shine a light on some of the other small business owners that might be out there. So that being said, that is today's goals episode. There wasn't a lot of chaos or fuckery today, but I appreciate you for coming here and listening for the weekly goals recap as we continue to go from corporate drone to corporate dropout. Thank you, and I hope you love the chaos and enjoy the fuckery as much as I do.